morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Lola Tokumbo Lagbaye. The reason why I want to quickly dish out a topic on human rights claim, human rights applications. Many people submitted application under human rights without knowing whether they qualify or not. Human rights application is very difficult and tedious. It is not an area of applications that anyone can put in carelessly. But having said that, I lately discovered that many people enjoy the fact of putting an application in, and just argue on Article 8. Immigration law is changing due to the Brexit. It's changing and it's going to make immigration application difficult in the UK. Due to the exit in Brexit from December 30th of this month, 31st of this month, applications on human rights is going to be tedious. It's going to be very, very difficult. It's not going to be something that anyone can just put in anyhow. Yesterday in my office, we had called Zoom. We had Zoom hearing yesterday in my office. While the immigration judge was in the court, the Home Office was in his office, and I was in my office. The client came to my office because I afforded them the opportunity to have it done from my office so that we don't struggle too much. Despite the fact that it was done through my office, we still have some difficulties yesterday. One, language barrier. We had to get an interpreter, Mandarin interpreter, to interpret for us because client is a Chinese background and his family are also Chinese. So despite the fact that they have been living in the United Kingdom for 16, 17, 18, 20 years old, almost 20 years, the majority of all of them requires interpreter yesterday. So it was a bit difficult. Our argument was on human rights. Applicant made an application as a partner of a British person. He has already overstayed his status at the time of application. He hasn't got leave to remain. The Home Office refused the application because he has no leave to remain. At the time the application was made, he has spent 18 years and few months in the United Kingdom. He has lived with his partner for over 2 years at the time of the application, but they have no child together. They have no child. So the application was based on, on human rights. Case sent to court. The case went to court so that we can have the Article 8 and human rights arguments, which is what we had yesterday. The issue there yesterday, after when we have highlighted the point before yesterday, which means that we did CMR case management review had already been done. Yesterday was like another hell in legal practice. One, because we have to structure ourselves online. Everything was online. Two, language issue, getting an interpreter, structuring interpreter was another headache entirely. And then the third one was the legal argument. The Home Office completely relies on their reason for refusal, saying that applicants can go back to China, get married to his wife. His wife is British citizen, suitability. They met the requirement that there is no doubt they are British, they are partners, they got married. There is no doubt in that aspect. Where the Home Office have issue, which I think is on a policy, was because they haven't got child together. There was no child between two of them. So they based it on that. Now, the British partner was a family of a refugee, which means that she has come to live in the UK under her father. She came to United Kingdom when she was younger. One thing I want to remind my fans at large, when you are making an application to the Secretary of State, please don't lie to them. please don't lie. They have all the necessary mechanism to find out whether you have done something before or not. So it is down to them to make a conclusion in that aspect. I like to be straightforward in my arguments, and I like to be upright. At the beginning of the application, client did not mention to us that his father-in-law was a refugee person. As such, it wasn't mentioned on the application to the Home Office from the beginning. Secondly, client did not mention that his wife had dual passport, dual nationality, a Chinese passport and British passport. There was no mentioning of that. Thirdly, client did not mention that his wife has traveled to China. In the course of her coming to UK to live, she has traveled back to China. He didn't mention all those things. It was yesterday that the Home Office brought it up. Shockingly, Home Office brought it up. Regardless of the Home Office bringing it up yesterday, I was not persuaded. I was not persuaded by the Home Office argument. I wasn't persuaded. I combat the argument through Article 8. I also combat it through human rights arguments. Applicant has lived in the UK for 19 years and 3 months at the time of hearing yesterday. 19 years and 3 months plus some days and hours at the time of argument yesterday. The rule on private life is 20 years. And the government says even if it's less than that, they are willing to grant it. The Home Office rely on Ajako case, which I'm not going to spell it properly so that I won't let people have it. And I also rely on C. The case I relies on was on a C case. C case. It started with C. In my argument, the Home Office reason for refusal was basically based on the fact that they want the applicant to return abroad to seek entry clearance, which is a policy decision. It's a policy decision. Now, if the human rights argument for yesterday were to be refused, not to be allowed, if it were to be refused, the argument is that the decision will be unduly harsh. In the sense that applicant will struggle to relocate back into China to live after 19 years being out of that country. And don't forget, at the time he came to UK, he was 17 years. So he was a child, he was an underage. So he's not a full-blown adult. Now, if he were to return back to China, he's going to struggle. So the decision is that it will be unduly harsh. So we look at the insurmountable obstacles that will make life difficult for that client to live in China. We look at the ties that he has created in the UK, the numbers of years, the community ties, the friends and families, his wife. We look at everything. Yesterday, we argue properly. We also argue on his long residence, 276, as well. I assisted the judge by raising a case law that is very relevant. Bless you, darling. Bless you. I raised a case law that is very relevant in that matter yesterday. We were in that court yesterday, even though it was aired through Zoom hearing. Very stressful. We were in there for 3 hours. We had technical faults, structuring ourselves, language barrier, and then the legal argument commences. Interpreter was a bit too slow. I have 3 witnesses, bringing them in one by one. Wasn't pleasant yesterday. So it took toll of my energy yesterday. But I did enjoy legal arguments. I won't lie to you. It's my area of strength. I actually did enjoy it. There is no doubt. It was very good for us to have it. Because what human rights arguments allows a good lawyer to do is that it's widen, it's widen your legal understanding. It widen your legal understanding, and it enables you to research more. Don't forget that the Home Office have nothing else to rely on other than the reason why they refuse, and harming it, on policy that no, it has to go back to his country. Now, of what's use of going back to his country when he has already spent 19 years and 3 months in the UK? Application for entry clearance will be refused because he has already spent 19 years here. He has overstayed, so they will refuse him back home. So the reason for refusal was just on policy, which doesn't really sound okay. But what the Home Office is trying to do is that they do not want to encourage people in that area to keep putting application in. But I can't see any reason why people cannot put application in, because you don't have to have kids if you're in a relationship, if it's not convenient for you, if it's not comfortable. The appellant mentioned to the to the judge yesterday that he's not ready to have child because he hasn't got status, and he needs to have a child when he's got status, and he wants to be a head of the family, which is the tradition in China. So he doesn't want his wife to be sponsoring his child for him. I like that talk. I like that talk. When I question him, I intentionally push it to him and say, listen, why haven't you got child? Why do you have to wait till the moment? So he said, no, I'm not ready to have child. It's a Chinese person that is learning English. So he was confident to reply to the judge and said, no, I'm not ready to have child. I don't have a job. I don't have a status. I don't want my wife to sponsor me. I don't want my wife to be paying for my child's bills. That I'm only going to have one child, but I don't want my wife to be doing it alone. It was a nice argument yesterday. It was a nice argument. I did enjoy this. On a whole, what this taught us yesterday that I want to share to the members of the public is that human rights application is really difficult and it's not really friendly. But some of us enjoys it when we know our way around the law. We enjoy doing it, But then I will not take it on if you are not close like this Chinese guy. This Chinese guy is so close in everything. He has got 2 years of living with his wife, or even more than two years of living with his wife. So at the time of hearing yesterday, he has had 3 years plus living together. They met in 2014. They started living together from 2017. They got married in 2019. The Secretary of State did not argue on that, so they know that they met. Where the Secretary of State insisted on was the issue that there was no child. Assuming there was a child, the family life will have been stronger. What they are thinking in their head, I'm not too sure, but it was a genuine relationship. I can put money on it. It was a genuine relationship. I can easily put money on it. Because yesterday allows me to know that they don't know how to lie. They don't know how to lie. Because he said to the Secretary of State that he has family back home in China. Don't must thank you. He said to the Secretary of State yesterday that he has family back in China. So they don't know how to lie. They like to tell the truth. I like them. I said to him that I paused the system quickly and I said, did you know the repercussion of what you said? And he said, yeah, I have family back in China, but I've not seen them since 2001. I left home. I said, very good. So I said to the judge that, did you hear what he said? I said to the Home Office person, he has not seen his family left back there. And he also said to them that his father and his mother whereabouts is unknown. That's why his school fees stopped. That's why the school fees stopped in 2007. That's why he could not continue with education. But it's a clever guy. It's a clever guy, and he knows his stuff. So it was a fantastic one yesterday. There's no doubt. It was a fantastic one yesterday. Robustly, argument went in smoothly. Robustly. Honestly, I wish I met you earlier than when I spoke with you. You're on yours 100%. Thank you, that person. Thank you. I enjoy law. The reason why I enjoy law is the subject that I decided for myself from heaven. It might catch you as another topic, but I love law. I love law dearly. With all my life, my heart, I love law. If I did not study law, I would pinch myself harder. I would really pinch myself. I love law. I love law dearly. I love law dearly because it's really interesting. It's an interesting subject. You can research, you can do anything. You are not bound. You are not bound. The legal argument is very interesting. So we had a strong 3 hours yesterday. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've got to go now. My time has lapsed. Call office and book appointment 0208 309 8808 0208 309 8808. Tokunbo Olagbaye is my name. Thank you, dear. Thank you. 0208 309 8808. Lawyer Tokunbo Olagbaye. I'm in the UK. You can see I'm in the office. I'm enjoying my work. I'm enjoying the grace of God. I'm enjoying it, Thank you, dear. Thank you. I'm enjoying the grace of God. I do things differently from other lawyers. From the home office perspective, I do things differently. They serve me their case law very late in the night. I've been very, very busy. So I work late. I work till 8:30 every day. I've been very busy, so there's no time really. Even this time that I'm using here now, I just quickly want to talk to my fans here because I know that I have not come live here for a while. So that's why. But I'm enjoying my law, and it's really, really interesting, very interesting. The Home Office served me their case law very late, 2 days ago, which means that I have to stay awake. Late and read and pinpoint. I'm not the kind of person that sit down and read all the textbook. I only look for law. I only look for points. I'm not the kind of person that sit down and read from pali to pali and waste my time. That was the then. But I think when you are learning, that's when you sit down and you read like that. But when you have already passed that stage, I go through the points, What is the point of you sending me this case law? What is the usefulness of it? The usefulness of it is that the Home Office used Agako. It's a Ghanaian case. Agako was a Ghanaian national. Don't forget. She's a Ghanaian national and trying to argue on human rights as well. But the Home Office beat her down and said, no, you did not justify the reason why we should grant you outside the rules. There was no exceptional circumstances in your case. So they used Agako, but I didn't use Agako. I used Chikwamba against them, which is C. That's what I use against them. So I do really enjoy law. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got to go now. I'm on 0208 309 8808. 0208 309 8808. Check me up here. Look at all my videos. My phone number is there so you can get my video. But I've got to go now. Thank you to all of you. Thank you. I remain very humble myself, and when I have something else to come up again, I will bring it on to you. Thank you for now. Bye. Bye, dear. Thank you. Yeah, it's always give me a headache when I want to end it. Take care, guys. Take care, guys. The YouTube usually decide when to end it or not. But take care, guys. Thank you. Bye. I wish I can hang around, but I've got things to do.